Hi, I'm Aiyana-Lee, and I just skipped class for the progress report.
Perfect. All right.
The progress report.
Hey, what's going on? It's your girl Lala Shepherd. We are skipping class right now. I got the beautiful Aiyana-Lee. How are you?
Yo, the fact that you got my name right off the bat, very impressive. Very impressive. Everyone gets it wrong. Shout out to you. I'm so happy to be here in VA. This is my first time here. Literally, this is the first 48 hours I'm spending here. So I'm just, I'm excited. The culture's beautiful. So.
Well, welcome to the A. And I'm curious now, what do people usually pronounce your name as?
Oh, girl, there's a list. There's Anna-Lee, there's Anaya.
It's clear as day.
Nah, there was a girl earlier who said Anaya because her daughter was named Anaya. So I understood that one, but there are a lot of people who don't have no daughter named Anaya. So I don't know where we went wrong here. But yeah, we got a name one of those names that everywhere you go, it's a different interpretation. It's a surprise.
And that's true. You know, my real name is like that, so I totally get it.
Ooh,
so
what's your real name? We're spill the tea? Okay, we got to spill the tea.
I got you. So go ahead and introduce yourself. What is it that you do?
I'm Aiyana-Lee, and I am a singer, songwriter, creative. These days being an artist, being a singer is so much more than just being the singer. Now, especially with social media, you're doing the, assets, you're doing promo, you're doing, your hand is in so many buckets. So, just an overall just artist and just, creating different forms of expression and emotion. And I feel like that's what music at the end of the day is about, and just building on that story.
Nah, absolutely. Shoot, whenever I meet an artist, I like to meet a true artist, like a creative person. I feel like it's, you really got to embody that. And I feel like, sometimes with the public, they may try to not discourage that, but at the same time, I feel like it's that. But as an artist, as a creative person, you just got to be that at all times. So respect.
Literally at all times, girl. Sleep is for the weak.
Now I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Now I know you've been doing your thing for a minute, but at what point did you discover that you had a voice?
Since I was born. I mean, that voice was just from the wow. I'm telling you, from day zero, my voice was a little hectic. Sorry to my mom. Shout out to my mom, because she really dealt with that big ass voice. But no, I mean, look, when I was 2 years old, I really started recording. I started going in the studio and asking, girl, just let me in, let me record something. I was being inspired and just watching so many singers come in and out of the studio, because my mom was 17 times platinum singer-songwriter.
Nice.
So just on that side alone, we had so many incredible musicians just come in and out of that studio, and it just really inspired me to just want to grab that mic. And let me tell you, there's still some videos on YouTube of me at 6 years old doing some things on that mic, just straight thinking she's killing it. So
absolutely,
don't look it up.
Nah, I got you. Talk about some of your earliest memories singing.
Earliest memory singer. The weirdest thing is I went on tour with my mom when I was 5 years old.
Wow.
So we went every summer. We would go, throughout Europe, Romania, Germany, just a bunch of incredible places, and I would get to sing. And it actually started with her doing shows, and she was the main act, and then all of a sudden they were inviting me out to be the main act and her to be the opener. So I'm like, okay, I'm a little bit of a baby pop star out here or whatever. So look, I always loved it. I always enjoyed it. I always loved jumping on stage. I think that's the biggest thing, when you yourself are gravitating towards it. But it runs throughout the family. David Ruffin from The Temptations, my uncle, and then Jimmy Ruffin was my grandfather. So, and then again, my mom, 17 times platinum as a songwriter. So, it felt like I was meant to do it. Like there was a pull towards it. And I'm just constantly inspired to do it, especially now. I think with COVID and everything that's happened, it's the time for a lot of artists to speak their truth. Storytelling is such a big thing, and just being able to, make music that makes other people feel not alone, because that's how I got through a lot of my shit, just listening to music and really realizing and connecting with so many incredible artists just made me feel like I wasn't the only one going through that situation. So I think now's the time for that.
No, absolutely. I respect. So, pretty much music was all you knew.
I mean, look, it got me through everything from, bullying in school, and we all go through some crazy shit in life, and just being able to vent and really purge your emotions, and it's like free therapy really and truly. And, you know, again, I went through some really tough situations with my father. He tried to kill me a bunch of times. I wrote a song about it, you know, it's on the project. Wednesday's Child comes out Friday. But, you know, it's just, again, like, I think these days it's so important for artists to just be real and raw and authentic with what they're doing and what they're saying. And there's so many stories to tell. So I hope that's all you can hope for, is just creating a community that really, you know, can you know, grow with you at the end of the day, because it all feels like we're all contributing to the art.
I agree 100%, because everybody is adding to the culture.
Exactly.
So you said a couple of things within that conversation alone that I want to hit on.
I ramble.
First, going back to David Ruffin being your uncle.
Yeah.
Do you love or hate watching the Temptations movie?
Yo, you know what? I love that movie. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna cap you. You know, some people be like, "Oh my God, I hate that movie."
I love that movie. It's a classic.
No, it's such a classic.
It
And
is.
you know what? Like, you know, the thing about art and about people in this entertainment industry, there's good parts and there's bad parts. But you should never edit out the bad parts. I feel like you gotta be transparent. And even in my project, you know, there were a lot of things that were really, really ugly. And I feel like so many artists try to kind of edit out the bad parts and try to cultivate and kind of create this perception of perfection. But that's just not being honest. So again, like, you know, I love that movie. I think, you know, even just, you know, listening to Motown and that era and that musicality is just so inspirational for me, just as a person and as a music lover myself. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. Yeah, I think, you know, again, going back to anybody that's in this field, you have to do your homework. You gotta know who paved the way for you. So I'm with you.
Yeah, especially, you know, it's like, you know, especially like that era as well. I feel like that's such a pivotal era. Motown, like, paved the way for all the music that we have today. Like, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that I feel are underrated. But at the same time, like, if you're an artist, I think the biggest thing is, like, you know, really, you know, listen to what you want to listen to, do what you want to do. But when it comes to making your music, don't listen to you don't have to listen to what's going on in the top 40 and what's trying to do and this, that. Do whatever you want to do. Shut out the world. Don't, you know, it doesn't matter what the next person says, just be authentic to yourself. And that might take a minute. That might take you shutting the door completely, like what I had to do with this project, and not even really think about genre and just be like, regardless of genre, let's just create and see where it takes us.
Big respect.
Yeah.
I would like to talk about your childhood and upbringing. I know you mentioned your father too, so you can sprinkle that in there as well.
Yeah, no, my childhood was amazing. I'm not gonna lie. My single mother, she really
shout out to the single moms.
Shout out to the single moms, because they have it so hard. No child support, no help, nothing. You know, she sacrificed absolutely everything for me. Absolutely everything. You know, when we came out to L.A., because I'm based out of Los Angeles now, but you know, we lost our house. Like, we lost everything. We both went broke in a city full of rich kids, which is shout out to a song that we have on the EP. But, you know, my childhood was so amazing. I got to experience so many different places and, again, go on tour, perform, you know, do all these incredible things. I think the only thing in my childhood that was, you know, a little sketchy was my father, really and truly, you know. And I know there are a lot of kids out there and people out there who go through the same situation I went through, and just, you know, having a bad parent or person or whatever that may be in your life that tries to drag you down to that extent can be crazy, and it's not talked about enough. I don't think it's talked about enough. And also the fact that you can grow from it and it is okay, and at the end of the day, you know, you don't have to be dragged down by it. You know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of people get stuck in those situations or things that's happened to them. But, you know, even with what happened with my father, it's like, it happened, it is what it is. And you know, I feel like, you know, I'm stronger because of it. Not to be cheesy or anything, but I truly believe I have grown from that situation and also been able to put it to bed.
Absolutely. No, respect. Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, it's important to speak on trauma, because you never know who can relate.
Yeah.
So, respect. Talk about uprooting from London to L.A.
Oh, let me just say, like, first of all, London and Los Angeles, you could not find more opposite on the spectrum. Like, you know, with London, there's you know, a lot of people who I feel like they're more authentic and real and raw, and they don't fucking give a shit. There's no bullshit. There's no like, oh my God, you're so beautiful today.
Right.
It's like, nah, man, like you kind of look a little busted today. You look a little sketched out today. You know what I mean? You know, I feel like the biggest difference is, you know, in Los Angeles, people will stab you in the back. In London, they'll just straight up be like, man, I'm about to stab you. Like caution, you know what I mean?
More straightforward.
More straightforward with it, you
Okay.
know, which I'm always someone who appreciates just being blunt. So, you know, with people out in London, it's just very much upfront, like this is who I am. Like you can talk to your neighbor and they will lend a helping hand and it will be authentic. In Los Angeles, there's always a reason behind something. There's always an end goal and people trying to use other people and everyone's trying to be on the come up. So, you know, instead of helping, you know, grow something together, everyone's trying to tear the next person apart, which, you know, is really fucked up because I feel like a lot of people could just win if they just
Of course.
really, really join together because ain't nobody like the next person.
Right.
There really isn't. And there's a space for everybody, so.
Yeah, we like snowflakes. I think everybody is different. I really do. No,
Yeah.
for real, I think everybody
Yeah.
brings like a different perspective, and that's facts.
It's true.
I know we talked about genres briefly earlier, but I did want to ask you, what genre of music, if you had to classify, especially too when you upload music, what genre would you put that in?
I mean, look, I think it's got a lot of soul, but it's still commercial enough to where it can be considered pop. And I got a lot of cool R&B moments
Right.
on this record too. So it's just these days, I feel like, especially with artists right now, I feel like people are kind of stepping out of that box of confinement when it comes to genres. We're expanding to a point where music is just music. Do you like it or do you not like it? You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's getting to a point where I feel like, you know, this project in particular, we have so many different vibes, but it still feels like there's a through line and a storyline, and it still feels like there's a cultivated sound. But you know, we have this song called Miserable that's got almost like a Bohemian Rhapsody vibe on it. And then we have Gangster of Love that's on the
Hey.
radio. Shout out,
a big
to
record.
R&B.
Yeah.
So I'm excited because, you know, that's such a dope R&B record. And, you know, I love R&B, and that sound is just especially this kind of R&B, I feel like, you know, it's such a throwback to 90s and early 2000s, that vibe, you know, but then again, we have, you know, kind of power ballads like Table for Three, which is like romanticizing the relationship with yourself, which I feel like is the most pivotal thing.
Absolutely.
You know, especially in society today, it's really hard to rely on other people, and, you know, just having that base and foundation of who you are is so important. So there's just, I mean, look, there's so many different vibes. I mean, it starts with literally just a cappella, bare bones of just my voice, to full-on production. I feel like it's a spectrum of different things. But again, you don't have to be confined to a genre. I don't think nobody should feel that pressure. Just go into the studio, you know, just wanting to create, you know, something authentic and raw and organic and whatever you just feel. So
Absolutely.
It's all a feeling game, and I feel like these days everyone, again, is trying to compartmentalize and put it in different boxes, when music, you know, it's something that extends and goes beyond even language. So, you know, I think it's not something that you need to, you know, again, box or confine.
I agree 100%. I think, you know, I get why people do stick to
For
a genre.
sure.
I get it. I get it.
And you want to build an audience
Yeah,
and
I
that
get
sound
it.
and that
I get it.
sound. I get it. It's the business side of it. But at the
Right.
same time, like, as an artist, just having that freedom to express who you are, I think, comes first beyond any
Absolutely.
label.
I agree
Yeah.
100%. So let's talk about this upcoming project. You got Wednesday's Child, Side
excited.
A. Talk about the title, the meaning.
Oh my God, there's so much to this.
Because by the time this releases, actually, it will be out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, this is exciting. Okay, so first of all, let me just get it out of the way. I was not born on a Wednesday. I was born on a Thursday.
Got
So
you.
it's already contradictory, innit? Nah.
But it's Wednesday today.
But
so it's
Wednesday
lit.
was that day. No, in the 1800s, there was this poem to where it was saying, you know, every other day was full of good luck and, you know, all these incredible things. You would go on to do incredible things if you were born on the other days. Of course, the only day that was full of woe and bad luck, you were going to live a life of bad luck, was Wednesday. And so just growing up, a lot of people tried to put that on me. Oh, you're going to live a life of bad luck. Like, you got this dream, it's never going to happen. You know, you're faced with so many things in life that come your way that almost try to make you believe and have that perspective of, you know, you're doomed from the very beginning. So, you know, again, it's very, you know, it represents being an outsider. It very much represents, you know, the world kind of almost feeling like people are against you, and have tried to again put that perception of you're gonna lead a life of bad luck, you know. And I kind of wanted to take that title on and almost spin it into a positive, because really truly this is a title that's been frowned upon for centuries, since the 1800s. Like, you know, I had heard that there were orphans who were born on a Wednesday and not adopted just because they were born on a Wednesday. So I feel like to some extent we're all kind of Wednesday's children, you know what I mean? We all are feel almost, you know, especially when you're growing up, 19, 20, you know, all these years, it's like you almost feel like, again, that outsider, again, like people are trying to put that perception on you and perspective of it's doomed from the get-go. So,
right.
You know, there's something inspirational about the darkness. I've always found something inspirational from negative things. From negative things. I've always found inspo from dark shit. So, you know, I wanted to put a spin on it. I wanted to turn it into a positive. And yeah, I'm just excited for this project to be released. I mean, this Wednesday's Child, I've been pregnant with this project for a minute. So
Gotcha.
I'm just excited for the world to hear it.
No, I'm excited for you. Shout out to my man Troy. He sent me a couple of records. So
let's
I'm already
go.
hip. I'm already
shout
hip.
out.
It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be
Yay,
super dope.
Thank you.
Tell me about some of the sessions with Stevie J, man. I saw something that you posted on IG, man. But you know, talk about them sessions.
No, weirdly enough, we haven't gotten properly to sit down in the studio yet, but we've done a lot of jam sessions. It's just been a lot of, yo, let's hop on the piano, let's do a different spin on this song that's already out. You know what I mean? Like, okay, Gangster's out, but let's do a different spin on it. Let's do a different take on it. Let's do something different, because I feel like, you know, especially when it comes to doing live performances, you know, you want to put a spin on it. You want to do something that's different and kind of switch up the song. You don't want to be exactly the same. So I felt like, you know, him on the piano and doing that and leaving room to still breathe at the same time and let the song have that space is just, it's just fun, and just getting and collaborating with so many people in the industry, just greatness. And we have L.A. Reid, who, you know, just,
I was gonna ask you about L.A., of course.
I know. But just like being surrounded by just music people. I think that's the top of the bar. Music people who just genuinely love music, which is so rare in this industry right now. Everyone's like, product, consume.
Numbers.
It's such a numbers game. You have to go viral. It's a whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-step process of this internet game, to where, you know, it's really hard to find people who really are in it for the music. So just finding people in general in this business that really care about the music, it's such a blessing, really.
Absolutely. So talk about just first meeting L.A. Reid. Of course, you know, we all know who L.A. Reid is, but for you, I mean, did you know you was gonna meet him the first time? Okay.
No.
Gotcha.
So I was in Miami working with a producer for I went out there for literally 3 days. I was supposed to be there for 3 days. And I show up to the studio, I'm waiting for the session. It's kind of going overtime because they're in this meeting with someone. I'm like, okay, I wonder who this meeting is with. You know what I mean? What's going on? And the producer had played a bunch of songs, and then they got to one of my songs. He decided to play one of my songs, and at the very end, and LA's like, who's this? Who's this? And I happened to be right outside the studio. I walk in. They're like, come in, let meet someone. There's someone here. I'm like, okay, who the fuck could this be? And literally, he's like, hi, I'm L.A. Reid. I'm like, no shit, man. I didn't even try to act surprised. I wasn't even trying to be like, oh my God, L.A., who are you? I wasn't trying to do that. I was like, okay, man, I know who the fuck you are. Come on now. And, I just, played more records and started dancing and shit live. I was performing. I sang live. I was like, I'm going to just sing a cappella. Fuck it. Let's just get to it. You know what I mean? So, he was immediately like, I need to sign you.
Nice.
24 hours, we got to do this, now. So it was a very quick process. And, right from the get-go, me and him had such a musical connection right off the bat. And I feel like energy doesn't lie. Energy never lies. So,
Period.
With LA, you know, it was instant from the get-go. There was never a hesitation. There was never a, you know, second thought about it. It's just, you know, the music came first, and it felt like he was just, you know, understood me as an artist and allowed me that space to really be able to, you know, portray what I wanted to portray and, you know, really dig deep into who I am. First of all, as a person, because I feel like that's what it really comes down to. Art stems from the person, you know what I mean? The person, the artist, all of that, it's kind of the same thing, you know? People try to separate the artist from the person. Nah, it's all the person and who you are as a person. And in this game, you really have to kind of decide, like, what your morals are, what you want to do, what you don't want to do. And by the way, that's per person. Everyone's going to be different. Like your morality or what you want to do is going to be different than what I want to do. And that's okay. And there ain't no wrong side to it. You're going to make mistakes. There are going to be, you know, some downfalls and things that you're not going to expect. But at the end of the day, all you can try in this game is just to be yourself, because there are too many people trying to be 10 other people that they see online. So,
nah, facts.
Yeah.
Facts. What would you tell your younger self and why?
That she's just fabulous. Cause honestly, I was this chubby kid. Like I'm talking like I was out here thick, killing it or whatever. No, I was this really, really chubby kid eating McDonald's, like, you know, out in the playground singing or whatever. But no, I would just tell her she's fabulous, but she already knows that. She'd be like, okay, girl, I know, because like that's just who I was, you know. No, actually, you know what I would say? I would say the once you get in the industry, it's gonna be a lot crazier than you think it is. Because you know what it is about this game is they kind of put these windows, right? It's like this house, right? And through the windows, it looked real pretty inside. You're like, damn, this house got lights. This house got a tree, everything. You open the door and you're like, this shit kind of stinks low key. Like, what happened to the tree? What happened to the lights? It's kind of like flickering on and off. Like no one can pay the bills. Like what's going on? So I'd say prepare yourself mentally. I think it's all a mental game. And there are so many games involved in crazy shit. But again, just sticking to who you are. Again, end of the day, point blank period. That's where it's at. So shout out to my younger self for just being confident regardless of people, you know, fat shaming me and, you know, saying you're never gonna make it, you're never gonna do it. Cause, you know, I was doing my thing.
Period.
Yeah.
Anything else that you want your fans and your listeners to know?
I'd just say to, again, just really, really be yourself. Like there is no need to chase. I feel like this culture that's been created these days of just, even with social media and TikTok, which by the way is incredible and we can really connect with fans, connect with people. It's such a great thing. It's such a blessing. But at the same time, don't get lost in it. Don't think that that's all there is, you know, because there's so much more to life than just post on TikTok. Oh my God, what's the next thing? What's the next idea? Oh my God, like, do it. If you want to do that success, if you want to do that thing, then you got to do what you got to do. But don't get lost. Make sure you as a person are grounded. You know what you want as a person. There are going to be a million people trying to change your minds about a million different decisions and different things. Just really make sure you hone into who you are as a person. And I had to learn that lesson last year. Like that was a whole year of just learning that, you know, the artist and the person, again, are very much the same. Like I really need to see where I stand as a person. And again, what I even want to say, like, what do I have to say as a person? First and foremost, like, what are the messages I want to spread? Not to be like preachy about it, but you know, what do I want to say? How do I want to impact this world? Even if it's in a small place here or a small place there, I'm touching these people here, I'm touching these people there. What do I want to say? And I think that's the biggest thing. Again, just being true to who you are and confident in that space.
Respect. Now this was dope. Congratulations on the upcoming project. Like I said, by the time this is out, it's gonna be out.
That's crazy.
But I'm excited for you. I think you got a very vibrant personality, so I'm excited to see everything that's coming, and hopefully you'll come back and do another one.
No, we got to sit down, girl. And I see you. You got to be behind the camera, girl. I don't know.
I know,
in front of the camera. Sorry,
yeah,
I mean, girl. She really showed out. Like y'all don't even know she showed out, girl. Okay, but thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
The Progress Report.